This K&N air intake system is designed to increase vehicle power and acceleration by reducing restriction in the intake path. The intake kit fits the vehicles shown, as well as additional vehicles identified on the K&N website or catalog. The K&N air intake system is guaranteed to produce a measurable increase in vehicle horsepower. K&N has extensive testing facilities that include several chassis dynamometers used to precisely measure engine and drivetrain horsepower and torque. The kit includes components that have been designed or matched to the needs of the vehicle to produce a safe horsepower increase. Detailed installation instructions are included with this kit. The tools needed for this install are shown.
Turn off the ignition and disconnect the negative battery cable. Remove the 4 screws which secure the front core support cover. Pull up the rear of the cover, then push towards the rear to unhook from the grille and remove the cover from the vehicle. Remove the 2 screws which secure the fresh air scoop to the core support. Unsnap the fresh air scoop from the airbox and then remove the scoop from the vehicle. Disconnect the mass air sensor electrical connection. Loosen the 2 hose clamps which secure the stock intake tube to the turbo inlet and factory airbox. Then remove the intake tube from the vehicle. Pull up the airbox and remove it from the vehicle. Install the heat shield mounting bracket onto the heat shield. Next, fasten the inserted nut onto the heat shield using the provided hardware. Remove the 2 screws securing the mass air sensor to the airbox and remove the mass air sensor. Attach the mass air sensor into the heat shield and secure it with the provided hardware. Cut the edge trim into 4 separate lengths, 19 inches, 17 inches, 8 inches, and 7 inches long. Install the 7-inch section of trim onto the heat shield as shown, then the 8. The 17 inches, and finally the 19-inch section of edge trim onto the fresh air scoop as shown. Next, remove the headlamp mounting bolt. Install the silicone hose onto the mass air sensor and secure loosely with the provided hose clamp. Set the heat shield assembly into position on the inner fender while installing the silicone hose onto the turbo inlet and secure it with the provided hardware, as well as the silicone hose with the provided hose clamps. Slip the provided silicone hose onto the mass air sensor and secure it with the provided hose clamp. Install the K&N air filter into the silicone hose and secure it with the provided hose clamp. Reconnect the mass air sensor electrical connection. Using the provided hardware, secure the fresh air scoop to the heat shield. Now separate the fresh air bellows from the fresh air scoop. Reinstall the factory fresh air scoop onto the core support using the factory hardware. Fasten the core support cover using the factory hardware. And lastly, reconnect the negative battery cable.
It will be necessary for all K&N high-flow intake systems to be checked periodically for realignment, clearance, and tightening of all connections. Failure to follow these instructions or proper maintenance may void warranty. This intake kit is not legal for highway use in California or other states adopting California emission standards. Check our website for up-to-date information on emissions legality for specific parts on specific vehicles and for a list of the other CARB adoption states. K&N makes products for nearly every vehicle on the road. The K&N website allows you to search products by vehicle or dimension, download installation instructions, view dyno charts showing typical horsepower gains for this product, and view product details. For more information on where to buy K&N products, go to knfilters.com.